evening and welcome to Active Citizens Parliament. My name is Sharon Enemchuku, and joining me in the studio, as always, I have with me Ifoma Oji. Good evening, how are you doing?
Good evening, Sharon.
How are you doing?
Very well.
Yes, we can see that.
Yeah, I'm in the TGIF mode.
Of course, of course. Also joining us via Zoom, we have two of our political analysts in person of Mr. Clifford Okunzowa and Mr. Maxwell Okoma. Good evening, sirs. How are you doing?
Clifford,
can you hear me clearly?
Again?
Oh, yes, again.
How are you preparing for the weekend?
I was about to be in the kitchen just a few minutes ago.
Oh, to whip up a storm, I can tell. I see that. Mr. Maxwell, are you there?
Yes, good evening to you.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Maxwell. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I hope you're all doing good.
Yes, I'm loving the sweatshirt. It's really nice. I don't know if you can.
Yeah, but it's not matching. I'm supposed to, see a smiley
Thank you very
face.
much.
No, Mr. Maxwell is under the weather, I think. So we'll just manage his smileless face like that. Anyways, going straight to the two stories that we have for today. We are going to first start with the fact that a PDP chieftain has declared that any party that has Mr. Peter Obi already holds 40% of the votes. And this is not a prediction. It's a warning shot. And I'm asking, is Obi truly Nigeria's kingmaker now? Now, secondly, Anambra State has come out swinging, calling out Phillips Consulting for what it describes as a deeply flawed and misleading rating. They are not just rejecting the numbers now, they are questioning the credibility of the entire methodology. And thirdly, drama in Rivers State as usual. Governor Fubara is back. He just landed in Port Harcourt, but the real question, what does his return mean for the ongoing political friction in the state? And we are going to first start with Peter Obi and what the PDP chieftain has come out to say, saying that any party at all who has Mr. Peter Obi on the team already has secured 40% of the vote. And he went on to further buttress that Mr. Peter Obi has a whole lot of support, and he gathered a lot of attention during the last presidential election, and his support and his fan base, known as the Obedient Movement, is quite iconic and something that we have not seen in the shores of Nigerian politics in a long while. Now, Mr. Clifford, do you agree with the PDP chieftain here?
Well, I don't actually know the reasons for such, but this is politics. You can't judge from the past. Every year you have different system. So, same Mr. Peter Obi has 40%. That's a very large margin. We can't tell. Unless, I can't actually tell, so I will disagree with that statement. Saying a particular person has 40%. What's the structure on ground? You know, there must be some laid down structures for you to accumulate such percent. If it's by personal credibility, the average Nigerian I know will want to go for financial inducement when it comes to election. So I disagree with such percentage.
All right, we've noted that. Now to you, Mr. Maxwell, what's your take? Mr. Maxwell, can you hear me clearly? All right, it seems we're having a little network issue over there, but coming to you now, Ifoma, do you agree or not?
To an extent, I kind of agree, because I see Peter Obi as, the personality that represents, Nigerians that are dissatisfied with the status quo. And let's take a look at the 2023 election, how, he was able to garner a lot of followers to him, voting for him, especially the the southerners.
Yeah.
Like, even though he didn't get much vote from, the northern states, but I mean, it doesn't take away the fact that, I mean, he can mobilize voters.
Yeah.
And that's not just the only thing. People have seen so far, even after the election, that his followers are still there with him, right beside him, even though maybe he is kind of trying to play, maybe somehow like trying to be political with the whole thing, because I mean, people in Labour Party are saying that he's one leg in, one leg out. But at the same time, we're still seeing a lot of people pouring in their support for him. But saying that he, has the ability to he has the 40% capacity, I think is strategically useful, but at the same time I feel that it is exaggerated.
Exaggerated now.
Yes, in the sense that for you to even win an election, you will have to at least win 25% in all round in all the states. At least you need to win 24 states, including FCT.
All
so
right,
I think it's quite ambitious.
All right, so if am I saying it's exaggerated, Mr. Maxwell, now, are you saying that it is possible or it's not possible, and that the momentum that Mr. Peter Obi had in the 2023 elections has waned now?
Well, for the PDP chieftain Dan Olase, I would say categorically that he has said several things in the past against Peter Obi, and I am shocked that he's saying this now, because he had a lot to say to reduce the support that Peter Obi had in the last election. I think that the momentum that Peter Obi gathered in the last election has shown them something, that he is a man that no matter the platform that he stands in, he is able to still control the support. He's still able to get that support from the people. So Peter Obi's support has not waned. Peter Obi's support has not dwindled. I can say for free that his support will increase. The reason is very simple. The APC has made it very easy for that. Now recall that the PDP has zoned its presidential tickets to the south. I don't know if they will be able to microzone it to the southeast, but the PDP should not be looking at calling back Peter Obi. They had the golden opportunity in 2023 or in 2022 when they were about to choose who was going to be the party flag bearer. But for money politics, they decided to leave it open, and they had Atiku put them in the position where they are currently. So, in my opinion, yes, Peter Obi will always control the majority of the people, no matter the party he exists or he decides to run with. But the PDP is definitely not an option for Peter Obi at this point in time.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Maxwell. Now, coming to you, Mr. Clifford, there was something that Dan Olase said. He said that currently they are not so certain of Mr. Peter Obi's stance and the party from which he might be contesting come 2027, saying he has one leg in Labour Party and another leg in ADC. Now, do you think that this political, will I call it now, he just doesn't have a say or a place exactly, or a party from which he is going to be, we don't know which one he's going to be contesting from. Do you think that this is going to put his fans or his supporters at a very confused state?
Okay, thank you very much. For me, I think Peter will be coming out from any political party at this point will be a very big waterloop for him and even for the supporters. In the sense that no matter the zoning, either trying to zone it to southeast as the case might be, it will be a blunder. Because right from Paris, we've come to understand that once a person has lived in their first tenure, it's very, how will I put it now, except in Jonathan's time, it's more very impossible to see the person leaving office. And with the current governors defecting to APC, all of them trying to get momentum for Mr. President. So I think it will be coming out for any political party as a black bear at this point in time is a total, total waste of time. It will only end in limbo, in the sense that Mr. President has to complete his second tenure. So forget about what Dan Last was just trying to say. He was trying to buy the minds of P2B. For P2B not to have, indicated any party at this point, that means he's still trying to calculate. Not he has the momentum, he has the support of majority, especially when it comes to the youth circle. But apart from having the youth, there's more to vote in. There's a structure that is laid down in winning election. So for now, I'm sorry for whoever that supports Mr. P2B. For now, the structure is not there. So I would advise that he does not even belong, he does not even stand as a flag bearer to any political party at this point. Rather, he should wait till after 2027 when the second term ends, then he can come out for any political party. That would be better.
Wow, Mr. Clifford, this is very new, but I like different opinions. And now he's saying that Mr. P2B should wait for the current administration to run their 8th tenure before even considering coming out. Now, for Mr. Clifford, it's not a question of which party; it's a question of no party at all. Mr. P2B should not even be the flag bearer for any party. What's your take on that particular statement?
Well, if I'm to judge by, maybe I should say anything on the question you asked him earlier, I actually feel that, P2B is actually trying to be strategic with the whole thing, because he's being cautious, even though that his party has serious internal issues which he is yet to attend to. But at the same time, I feel he's playing the political game. He knows exactly what he's doing. Declaring him being a party or running for a particular position, the presidential position in a particular party, might actually mar his chance of winning. So maybe he has a plan towards 2027 that towards that time he can actually declare the party that he is contesting, and then again I feel that P2B, wherever he goes, people go. Like I said before, P2B garnered this attention and people's support because of who he is, and because of the fact that what he is selling to Nigeria is different from what other politicians are selling to Nigerians. So he is different. It's more like his own strategy is unique, and that is what people are buying. So if you tell him not to run in any party, I feel like maybe you're somehow ripping him off his position in the society. If he decides to run in any party, like I used to tell you, if he said that he will run a party, maybe the name might be Okokobioko, you will still see his supporters spinning in or flushing into the party. As it stands right now, it's not about the party at all, but at the same time, he can still choose the party that he should run for.
All right, thank you. Amazing perspectives. Now, to you, Mr. Maxwell, I want to let me just paint the full picture before I ask this question. Now, Solex has said that now it is not the problem of party. We're talking about individual with integrity now, and this is where Mr. P2B comes in. Mr. Clifford has come out to say that the gentleman agreement that they have to zone or to let the presidency run for 8 years for each of these regions, excluding the Southeast, should stand before Mr. Peter Obi even considers running for presidency. Now, what is your take on all that? I need you to comment on from Mr. Clifford's point of view and from what Ifoma has just said.
All right, thank you very much. So first of all, I'll state categorically that there is nowhere in our laws that it was written that a person who holds the seat of presidency must govern or must preside for 8 years. The Constitution states that where a person has been elected to the office of president, he shall have a 4-year term. Now, it now gives leverage to a person to have an opportunity to contest again. So there is no place it is written. If you recall, Goodluck Jonathan did not do 8 years at the executive or at the presidency. So all of the stories, all of the permutations surrounding the issue of 8 years is actually far-fetched. I must state here that irrespective of the fact that we are trying to look at the permutations in line with politics, let us also be aware of what governance entails. Nigeria is currently suffering. Nigeria needs a person who can take it from the point it is to the point it ought to be. So I have no business with whatever arrangements APC have, whatever arrangements the PDP have. But what I'm saying here is that come 2027, if Nigerians will go to the polls to decide who will be president of Nigeria. So as for the political party of Peter Obi, it doesn't matter where he belongs, but I can state categorically that he is a member of the Labour Party. If people are doing an arrangement under a coalition, it does not mean that they have left their political party. The only person I know has officially left their political party is Atiku Abubakar, who has resigned from the PDP and is no longer a member of any political party currently. But Peter Obi remains a member of the Labour Party, undergoing coalition talks. If coalition talks are successful, all of the political parties in this coalition talk will align themselves to a candidate that the coalition has decided. Otherwise, they move to they come out under the auspices of the political party that they belong to. The same thing also applies to El-Rufai. He resigned from the APC, joined the SDP, although he's currently having problems with the SDP. But the fact remains, for a person like Peter Obi represents what Nigerians want. Peter Obi represents the person.
Mr. Maxwell,
numbers not doing well. So
ask my question. And there are speculations with how Phillips Consulting conducted this research that puts Anambra State as the 38th state in terms of ranking and the worst state to live in currently in 2025. They came out to say that Phillips Consulting only asked or conducted this research with 74 people or Anambrians, and they were just males. And according to the Anambra State government, this is not something that we should be relying on. They said, according to them, that they just sat in Abuja or Lagos and just did hearsay research, apart from, coming down to Anambra State, conducting a holistic research where it would include calling over thousands of people to ask these questions from different gender, both the male and the female, and different walks of life, and looking at not just how much the Anambra State government has spent, but how much it has been able to generate from its spendings. And this is what the Anambra State government is saying. Now, I'm just saying now, why do you think that with everything that we know from how the Phillips Consulting has conducted this research, that it is valid?
Well, I don't know the validity of their claims because I believe that if they have, the proof that they really conducted it properly, what is their sample size? What were the metrics they, employed to doing this? Because the Anambra governor is equally questioning it. It's more like, if you say that you arrived at this result, I really want to know, how did you go about it? Did you visit schools? Did you interview people on the streets and even the students? That is not just about, input, the money that goes in, but it's about the output. According to him, he said that, education in Anambra State has improved.
They said it's now number one, even according to the Gates Foundation.
So if they feel, I don't know if this is true. I don't know. That's why I'm saying here that if the governor can actually bring out his own proof. I mean, what are the measures that he's using to confirm that, I mean, education in Anambra State has improved? And then to the Philip Consulting what are the metrics they're equally employed to arriving at the results?
All right, so Anambra State came out to say that Anambra is a national leader in education since September 2023. They came out to cite the fact that international organizations have conducted the same research that this Phillips consultancy conducted, and they ranked Anambra when it comes to education #1 in the entire country. And they also said when it comes to free education that Anambra has been able to provide free education for its secondary school, and also when it concerns employment of teachers, they were able to employ over 8,000 teachers currently. And apart from that, they also mentioned the fact that the healthcare system has improved and all of that. But to you, Mr. Clifford, looking at this data now with what Anambra State gave and with what Phillips Consulting Limited gave, what do you make of that?
Okay, first, I really don't know the statistics the Philip consultants used in doing all of this thing. Because as at 2023, Anambra was ranked high in education. Then in point of environment, we were ranked third neatest state in Nigeria, you know. And so I really don't see, apart from the aspect of security, which as at late last year to the beginning of this year, the governor has really fought insecurity to a halt. So I really don't know the statistics that they use. I did mean they focus on one area, saying education. I can say, I can rate Anambra based on education, but so far, if you are in Anambra State or you've been to Anambra, compare Anambra education system to other states. Apart from Lagos and Edo State, I don't think there is any state I can actually say, you know, surpasses Anambra State. I'm out of Anambra for now, so, and I've traveled wide, so I don't really know their statistics. The only place I can actually fault Anambra State is the area of security and electricity and the industrialization. There is no industry because you can't be living in a state and you have nothing to do apart from teaching. Probably that the state government is saying they employ teachers and the rest. But most of the pays are low. So it has to do with this 21st century, we should be talking about technology, industrialization, and all of that. So I can't really say if the Philip company is biased or the government is true to what they say, because I can't tell the statistics. Was there a questionnaire that was raised online for people to, you know, make their votings or make their suggestion? Do you ask people on the streets of Nigeria? And I didn't know the, you know, the statistics or the methodology. I can give you valid points to this question.
All right. Now over to you, Mr. Maxwell. From what the Anambra State government came out to say, refuting the record or the research that has been consulted by the Phillips Consulting, just to compare that, the data that is already available, what we can see in Anambra State and what is out there for people, do you agree with the Philip Consulting, or do you think that there was a huge error and discrepancy in their research?
Okay, thank you. First off, I must state that if a state was doing well according to data in a previous year, it does not mean that in the following year that it must do well. So if Anambra State is refuting the new data on the basis of how well the previous data was, then that is not a proper way to refute it. You see, one of the things I've said about our country is we are so poor in terms of statistics and records. They were revealing out numbers, Anambra State, in defense to what Phillips Consulting released. But I tell you today that if you go to the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, you may not see these numbers, or you may not be able to find a proper trace to these numbers. So, in every aspect of numbers, statistics in Nigeria, we do poorly. So I can't even judge who is right or who is wrong. Yes, it may be plausible for you to begin to make comparisons as to the fact that a person who was probably ranked first at one point is now ranked last, or probably ranked near.
Yeah.
It may be plausible for them to make such arguments. But I think that the parameters, the indices for which they use in arriving at these numbers should be checked. But one thing I must state is we should pay less attention to these organizations who come up with these numbers and actually try to understand the plight of the people in these states and how they are actually adapting to the states. What is the reality on ground as it relates to infrastructure? What is the reality on ground? We all know that in the past months, Anambra State has suffered serious security problems. We also know that they've suffered problems with also infrastructure in the state. So Anambra State needs to wake up to this reality. It's not about debunking statistics. I'm not supporting Phillips Consulting. I don't know the parameters of their numbers, but the state must look at giving the people the dividends of the democracy that they should be enjoying. Because if a state cannot enjoy security at a time as this, then there would be a very big problem. Because in all areas, security will affect every area of production, be it employment, education, name it. So they need to solve these problems and just forget about whether they are debunking or not debunking other numbers out there.
Well said, Mr. Maxwell. Whether you have industrialization, employment in the state, and there's still insecurity, it would still affect all of these aspects. Now we are going to close on that, moving on to the next and final story. Fubara has made his return to Port Harcourt earlier today, and he received a whole lot of support during this return. Now, do you think, Ifeoma, that this will stabilize the political crisis in Rivers?
Yes, definitely, because I think there were projects left undone when he left office, and according to rumors, they said that the current governor in the state that the president put to represent him as the administrator, yes, that he siphoned a lot of funds, that he left a lot of projects unattended to. So yes, I think it will actually stabilize things, but that should equally I am putting it, or rather I'm saying it is more like the time for Fubara to kind of prove himself. You could see that earlier, before he even got to River State, that people were already in the airport, they were cheering him, they were so happy that he is back. But for me, it wasn't just about them being emotional about it. I actually see political capital playing a role here. It shows that he is still in power, that he still have people's support. So if I were to even advise him at this point in time, I think he should utilize the the momentum. He should make himself visible. He should focus on those projects that was left undone. And like I said earlier when we discussed this, that he should kind of try as much as possible to be accountable and transparent in what he did or what he does moving forward, because people can actually rally their support for you for the meantime, but when you don't prove your integrity, prove the fact that okay, you are back and you're here to make a change, people might actually swing in their support different.
Yes. All right, so what you're saying is that Governor Fubara has to be careful and cautious with how he moves going forward. Now I'm going to ask you, Mr. Clifford, now do you think that this is a signal to Rivers that Governor Fubara is ready to fight back? Mr. Clifford, did you get that?
Thank you very much. I can hear you. Thank you very much. When you talk of fighting back, I really don't know the statement fight back. I really don't know how to put it now, because there's no fighting here, because in other aspects, the only thing you can fight back is to make yourself visible. And for you to be visible, you have to carry on doing some projects, visible projects, and all of those. For you to do some of these projects, you need allocation, you need funds to do it. And funds comes from the federal force as it stands, because Nigeria is currently using a single treasury. So I don't really know how he's going to fight back. For me, I just feel, because from the news, I don't know how true, sometimes media it is, but I saw an article where they said Fubara was complaining that 500 bags of rice was already missing, and he's going to prove administration because some funds were actually misappropriated. There was misappropriation of funds and all of those things. But whatever he's going to do, there is one thing: once beaten, twice shy. You understand?
Yeah.
Whatever he's going to do, I think he should just play cool. If he's going to stay for his second, if he's coming back for his second tenure, then he can fight back in his second tenure or whatever as the case might be. But for now, I think he should just play cool, play safe, do the best you can do. You understand? Because even the people you are fighting for, how many of them care? They care less. You understand? So do the best you can do. There is no point of fighting anybody. You stay your government. If money is given to you from the federal budget, use it to do the work that it was being accounted for, and try as much as you can. You can never be transparent enough, because there will be some persons who will still not be satisfied, but just try as much as you can, do your best, and don't bother about probing anybody, fighting anybody. Because
Mr. Clifford, what Mr. Clifford is saying is that the governor Fubara should just, do the right thing.
Anybody, do your best, not for yourself.
All right. All right.
Do your best for the people, and then that's.
Okay, thank you very much, Clifford. We hear you loud and clear. Now, to you, Mr. Maxwell, we've heard what Mr. Clifford has said, that Governor Fubara should ignore the advice from the PDP to probe into the 6 months that the sole administrator, Iba, spent and how money was used during the 6 months suspension. Moving forward, if you could advise Fubara now, what would be your words? Maxwell, can you hear me?
Opinion. Of course I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I am of the opinion that the people's wealth, that is commonwealth, should be properly accounted for. Now, anybody who has held political office should be accountable to the period for which they were in office, be it public funds, be it policy documents. Like led to where Rivers State is today, we all know that the Rivers State still going to repeat itself. I find it surprising that I'll be hearing people say that Sim Fubara should not do anything, he should lay low, he should be silent. We should not give people the opportunity to think that the power which is supposed to belong to the people should not be controlled by a selected few. You are aware that actions were stated in court about this same state of emergency, and the Supreme Court has gone silent for months, have refused to rule on it. You see, but these are not the issue and probably not the question you are asking. But if any probe should be done, I think it should be done. If he can handle that, let him do that. Monies were released. Remember the last time on this program, I told you about how the money which was budgeted for was increased from about 1.1 to about 1.8 trillion. So if you cannot account for the people's wealth, I don't know why you were put in office in the first place. So it is something that should be done, and I hope that Fubara can give the people dividends of democracy. Rivers is a big state that rests in millions and millions of naira. It is an oil-rich state. So the people should not be suffering as they are currently, no matter who is governor of the state. But the federal government must realize that it is a state that should operate in its own independence and should be devoid of this kind of interference we are seeing from Wiki, Mr. Tinubu and every other person at the national level.
Thank you very much, Mr. Maxwell. Thank you very much. At the end of the day, he's saying that Governor Fubara should be able to give the people of Rivers State dividends of democracy. And on that note, we'll be calling it a wrap on the show for not just today, but for the week. Thank you very much, Ifoma Oji, for joining me as always in the studio, and to our political analyst in person of Mr. Maxwell Ukoma and Mr. Clifford. Thank you so much for joining. It was such a wonderful conversation. And now to our VIP viewers, thank you for joining us, for your comments, your shares. They mean so much to us, and this is me encouraging you to keep on doing so. If you're yet to follow us across all social media platforms, what are you waiting for? Please endeavor to do so. Find us at Active Citizens, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also find me on my personal page at Sharon Enemchuku. And you?
You can find me on Facebook at Audrey Sophia and on Instagram at Miss Alex.
All right, Mr. Clifford.
On Facebook, Clifford Okunzuwa. Anywhere, all social media.
Anywhere, Mr. Clifford Okunzuwa. Okay, and Mr. Maxwell. All right, till we see you next week, do have a beautiful weekend.